Yeah, everything went fine. There were absolutely no strange occurrences whatsoever.
And it only cost us one date with the general. And by us, I mean Snow.
Who's this Jormungandr?
What if we reverse the letters?
Rudagumagund?
You need to be really smart to crack the code.
We don't need to crack the code. We have the code already cracked. She's looking at Snow and smiling.
Snow, you already cracked the code? You're a super genius?
Okay, so we need someone who is smart, techie, familiar with Air Veldum technology, hates the government, willing to ally themselves with the Odd Guild, and is in a safe, remote location. This location is almost like a secondary world tree. It seems as if someone mimicked the behavior, utilized it to make their own underground highway.
Hello, Foundlings, and welcome back to the Odd Campaign. This is Season 5, Episode 3, and I, like always, am Quentin, your GM here, surrounded by all of my lovely players. Say hello, my lovely players.
Hello.
Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves so people can put names to the voices and the characters.
Hello. Well, hi there. My name is Emily, and, I play Snow. She is the leader of the Odd Guild alongside with her faithful wolf companion, Achia, who is the king. And then the Wilson's in the background somewhere. Yep.
I mean, like those things are contradictory.
I play Zana Xerxes Zion with her faithful / sassy
It's a
crow.
spiteful representation of your subconscious. Doesn't that just mean you're spiteful?
You're just a spiteful figment
I
of
am
my
Jonathan.
imagination
I play
in the
Tama,
physical world.
with his faithful companion, Pickle Jar.
And we all pan over to look
Move on to the next person.
at a jar of pickles. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know.
It's getting more character.
It's getting more character. Well, last
I had
time
more
on the
lines
Odd
this time.
Campaign, our party
It's like
was
just like
celebrating
blub, blub, last
their
time. Now it's
success
blub, 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 blub,
as they dug into the spoils of their
It's
escapade.
getting sentient.
For some, this meant high-tech gizmos and encrypted code, and for others, this meant romance and long walks in the woods. But for all, it meant revisiting long-ago friends as they sought allies, aid, and power. And that is where we're picking up this week, as Zana and Tama have succeeded on their mission to gather the physical proof of what they are going to utilize to tell people about Camille Decimus and her plot. And Snow has just began to open up an entire can of worms.
I'm actively driving the car, so I hope we're not leaving it in the middle of the tundra.
Are we leaving the car here?
I mean, 8 hours of sleep is nice,
either way.
but
Draken,
it's
what do you
9, so
Thing.
unless you intend on waking up at like 5 in the morning, it's still like 3 hours, but it's very dark and very cold, and that makes things incredibly harder the colder and darker it gets.
Don't we still have a couple hours to get back to the city?
I mean, a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. We'll probably be back there by like 10,
Okay,
10:30.
It's only like another hour. I'll just have to see who's awake.
What else am I supposed to do? Just drive in a straight line?
It's been in the news as soon as possible.
It is.
Are you swerving on purpose, Draken?
No, they won't be able to track our tracks as easily.
I mean,
because
is it like a tactical maneuver? I was just wondering because I'm just getting a little sick.
They'll be confused in which direction we're going because some will be going that way, then some will be going this way, and then like half of it gets covered by snow.
You're actually kind
of right. And they'll be like wondering like why are they going in 5 different directions?
I guess.
Who knows? Mystical voice above? Who knows? Maybe they are.
So eventually you guys make your way back to headquarters.
You on the way back to the city?
It is getting increasingly later in the night. And while you walk in, the festivities are kind of dying down for the evening. It's rather sparse in here, only having a few tables of individuals. Most of them you recognize to all be from the Eastland Raiders. That is a coolest guild. This is their favorite place to come. Yeah, you can roll perception.
Is that
he is the most obvious man to spot in the entire room as he demands the attention effectively of everyone in his guild almost at all times. He 32. Is a loud, boisterous entertainer. Is there anything else you'd be looking for? There, you rolled phenomenally well on your perception check. I can give you more information. I just want to know what you
I guess. I just... I guess... I want to see how he's reacting.
He is very, very lively. It seems as if he is regaling his compatriots in one of his most recent beast hunts. He used to, you recall, you now see as actually his left eye,
this
which
guy
you
does
gouged
wear an
out,
eye patch.
is now actually present, but different than his other one, and it seems to be glowing.
No. Oh no. His new eye is
it's a classic measuring contest of my fish was this big. Except their fishes are like 3 feet long, and they're talking about like giant sea monsters they've recently hunted. Yeah. Sure. He just goes on talking, and no, he doesn't.
Try to face Akula directly where he can see my face.
I mean, he might, but the point is, he doesn't care. He's telling a story right now, and he thinks that you were just so amazed by him that upon walking into this tavern, you couldn't help but be entertained by his monster hunting tale.
My gosh.
You will see, I was on a raft that I strung together with my own hair by grabbing 2 sea turtles and strapping them, and I had them leashed, and I was riding them among the waves. I had both reins in one hand, spear in the other, as I crested the top of a 40-foot-tall gale force wind. I struck down with the force of lightning, impaling 3 sea creatures in the head at the same time. Thank you, someone finally appreciates all of my hard work.
I slowly clap.
I mean, yeah, he acknowledges you. No.
Does he look at me fully now?
No, yeah, apparently.
Does he not recognize me? He doesn't?
Once again, looking at the man, he is full of scars
than I thought I was. I'm sorry. I physically scarred.
He got a new one.
That was a long time ago.
Long time. It was well, it's not that traumatic of a memory. And maybe lasts for you for a week if you're this man.
He's probably had so many concussions since then.
Oh, yeah. He has probably dealing with immense amnesia.
We've also recently fought some sea creatures. They weren't quite as, fantastic as the ones you've fought, but they did turn people into fish people.
Oh, they're terrible. They're overriding the place. But let us be honest, these piddly sea creatures are nothing in comparison to the true catch. Wait, what did you say? Cute pet name. Yes, the nature spirits like the Galamkete, the Volgaror, the Ignis Ursa, these monolithic creatures of epic proportion. What I would not do for their head mounted
the Umbra
affixed my
Ignis,
wall.
the Giftis Antique. Dude, I met them. They're not that impressive. You probably wouldn't want
I
that.
have been doing the Murder the Monster quest.
Camillus' hands.
You know, the monsters that have been like killing dozens of people and like ruining mines and fishing boats. Like hundreds of people have died. Yeah, there's a giant bear that causes all of the support beams in the mines to melt whenever they dig deep enough, and then the mine collapses, and then hundreds of people die.
Because we did.
No, the NPCs. The NPCs. Yeah. I mean, these ones aren't respawning, so I guess they get deleted or something. It's not really for me to care. All I know is that big monster, cause problem, I kill, I get paid. What could be better than that? I mean, certainly, but how can you do that without becoming stronger? Imagine what that belt of that bear could do for you. The blubber of the whale, the feathers of the eagle. They could be used. You have obtained the feathers from the Fulgur, and I hear that could be utilized to make a legendary artifact.
I've ruffled the eagle's feathers, and they're not that impressive. Oh, actually, yeah. Den is like my best friend. Well, I'm his best friend, but like, you know how it is. But legitimately, I do have hardcore evidence of maybe some terrorizing plot, and I thought, you know, you're a competent leader of a guild, and you might want to know. I'm not joking.
It's fine.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Dang it, I brought the mood down like way too fast. I was trying to ease into
what are you...
like with witty banter.
Guys, how many?
Yeah, like, as long as like 12?
Oh, shoot. Guys, really how many has he had already?
So, like, it doesn't affect him as like 6 for an average man.
Well.
But still, I don't know if he had 2 brain cells to rub together before he started drinking, so...
Oh.
Yeah, he's absolutely the most competent among all of us. Like, he could probably murder all of us while we're standing right now.
He's the leader of your guild.
Being able to murder things gets you pretty far in this game. It's surprising no one.
Okay, being able to murder someone doesn't equal
when you're trying to survive, I think the ability to murder everything that's trying to kill you is pretty good. Pretty good.
He's got a point there.
Yes, but that's not the end-all, be-all.
I'm not siding with anyone. I'm just saying.
Tama, don't side with it. Okay. Okay. Do you want to know what's actually going on here, or do you want to play into the plots of somebody's hands who wants to make you sure you stay in this game and maybe wants to take your brain?
I think what he's trying to say is we're all a little confused here.
Okay, maybe not your brain per se.
How do you explain that in simpler terms?
Your brain.
5 p.m. But if they're
can we meet up tomorrow at like 5 p.m. this same tavern?
Night.
We have other things
my point
to
is,
do.
why would we just talk to them in the morning before we go do the other stuff? Since they're already going to be here.
I mean,
assuming you could be here in the morning.
This is their favorite bar, Tama.
Yeah, they'll be sleeping in the morning.
At some point, you wake up.
In like afternoon, like noon 30. Noon 30 is pretty good. Anything for noon 30? Oh, I mean, no, our next hunt is scheduled fairly early tomorrow, so we'll probably be out.
Okay, well then we do this conversation then.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
this is like a matter of life and death, and it's about to be enacted literally tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Like, there's more of like a time constraint that I was... you know what? Come with me. We'll grab another drink for you.
Akula, very excited at the proposition of
and
you
over
paying
the drink, we can tell
for
you what's
more of his
going
alcohol.
on, so you
just
can warn
stands
your party
up
tomorrow.
on the seat, looks over towards the barkeep.
Another round then, paid for these fine fellows. And not the bottom shelf swill you've been serving us. The good stuff this time. Yes, for everybody!
Depends on the type
You're gonna have to. Well, he did ask for not the bottom shelf swill.
I was talking about
The barkeep comes around with a giant tray, glasses filled to the brim, foaming over with ale, and passes it around. There's the upstairs rooms where people sleep. Other than that, it's just the bar. Right, the bar in the immediate surrounding area with tables. You have like a corner of the bar you're currently in.
I mean, unless I'm sleeping in the tent outside. I don't... Ralph, how are our folks looking? Am I sleeping in the tent outside? Oh, we should be fine. Huh, we have room here. It's fine if I leave my glasses upstairs. I don't want to walk back down.
Okay then. Well then.
Fine.
Shall we?
Okay, and we're all players here.
I will take
you
the
have
glass back down when we
information
come
for
back.
everybody.
Look, this is pretty serious stuff, man.
Right, so why didn't you want to spread it now to as many people as you could?
Well, I'm not going to be here to spread the information tomorrow.
Yes, but whatever you say to me, you can say to all of my men.
I'm trying to, but I'm trying to talk to someone. Yeah, are you not the leader of your...
That is why I have ale, to make it go down smoother.
Are you ready for a debriefing session in the middle of... Okay, then everybody listen up.
It's a decent chunk of them. It's probably about a third of their guilds currently here in
Zana, along with the help of Tama, will show the... What are their guild name again? I can roll diplomacy for this if you'd like, but I just would, instead of regurgitating all the information...
but before you start, because you did kind of want some degree of discretion, you could roll a perception check to see who else is in here.
The Akula and his guild.
Oh, that sounds like something. Tama, you are just enthralled by this man's beard. It's so well kept. It's like
31.
Right. So it's like it's so obnoxious. It's like, why does he get the genes that allow him to do that? Meanwhile, you see that Akula is not wrong that the majority of the patrons here at the establishment currently are individuals that look very similarly in aesthetic to that of the Eastland Raiders. There are very few individuals outside of that. There is the barkeep, who you have spoken with before. You know he's chill. He's like all pro-rebellion. Like, he literally houses your secret base underneath the establishment. Then there are a small table of 3 individuals who seem to be like dressed in very stereotypically edgy clothing. If you were comparing all of the anime, these are like the Bleach fans. Yeah. So like if you had to put them in a box, like you would probably assume that these are either some of the estranged members of Dark Guild, but Draken hasn't spoken up towards them, or they would be members of Epitaph or the Fourth Seal. And then there is just one lone individual sitting at the bar by himself. He's got like sandy blonde hair, and he's just wearing like standard half-plate armor, has a sword, red cape. Seems like he's just like staring down at his ale, not paying attention to anyone.
Okay.
Sure.
Or paying attention to everyone. I will keep my eye on him throughout the conversation, but I will relay. I start off by introducing myself, Zana Xerxes Zion, member of Odd Guild, first to the 20th floor. But then I do begin to relay the information that we have gathered about the mind control devices that we first found, our encounters with the nature spirits, our encounters with Camille, how she came to our guild, basically threatened us. I will mention that one of our quote-unquote members investigated the underwater, basically, base, and what we think that is, which is, we think that's Camille's, head base, where she's using players that she quote-unquote killed and other things that she quote-unquote killed, but to mind control them in some sort of way.
Flyers.
And that she's been working with the government here and falsifying the attacks.
Yeah, go ahead and roll diplomacy
it's a lot of
as you're
information
deliberating all
process,
this
I know,
information.
but the big battle is literally tomorrow.
Oh,
So you need to make sure you and your
it
people are
is
ready. I don't want to see
very
any players
neat
die.
that you have meted with the nature spirits. It's very
60.
cool. But all you have shown me is that government lady is working with government people and wants to kill the nature spirits. That is what I already knew. Well, I don't remember. Where have you
And she's
shown this? I
manipulating
see
players
weird
and also
document
kidnapping
with
them.
strange
Did you miss
language
that part where I
is
said
not
that
very easy
missing
to read.
players were...
And that is all you have presented to me, besides the fact that you have met with nature spirits. He has icy hot hands. It must be very good for sore muscles in the morning. But I failed to see where there is, like, you said you found devices in base of neck of NPCs, but this does not particularly bother me. Our government wishes to keep its people in check.
Okay, well, if, she stands
Zana
up.
stands up
motions for
really
Tom to stand
abruptly.
up
Tomo
as
looks
well.
at her and
If
he's like,
you're not
well,
interested in
I
information that
guess,
could potentially
I
save
guess
your
we're leaving then.
life and the
Nice
players, that's
getting
fine.
to chat a little with you guys. It's been a while since I've seen you guys. I guess it's probably going to turn in for the night.
Sounds good. Feel free to buy me ale anytime.
You flick the barkeep a gold coin, he catches it, nods, and you make your way up for the evening.
Well, that didn't go as anticipated. I mean, to be fair, like, this is the guild of people who really like hunting monsters, so I think it's kind of a hard sell to convince them to not hunt monsters.
Yeah, the only thing that would have maybe stopped them from hunting it was the buff, but they didn't really seem to care too much about that.
I mean, I don't know if we pushed that aspect. Like, I feel like the problem right now is we have evidence that Camille is working with the Abjurers, right? And that's fine, but I don't think we have enough evidence that she's being hostile against the player base is what they were concerned about.
Other than them, moving through floors, yeah.
I mean, she was kind of creepy when she showed up at the guild hall, but other than that...
Yes, but also it would... We
That
also
was a threat.
we also did
That was basically a
fake
threat.
that she was trying to get the
And you want to say she's
Yeah, we
not
kind of did
threatening players.
forged
I'm a
government
player,
documents
you're a player,
using
he's
her
a player.
signature on them.
I probably would be upset about that too. I'm
So,
sure
yeah,
it's a mess.
kind of a house call. Just slam door. Bang.
Well,
I can't
mean,
talk
it's
to
been one of
any
those
of you
days.
right now.
It has.
I'm
It's
going
been
to
one
my
of those-
room.
it's been a long day.
Don't disturb.
And that is where we check in with Snow, as her evening has perhaps just begun. Snow, last we left off with you, you had sought an audience with the Queen Rimadolv back on the 10th floor, after having successfully traveled there with General Roland von Fearum himself. He is currently changing upstairs, as you have notioned to Dorian to kind of buy some time for you, as you wanted a private moment with the Queen. Yes, your dissertation.
Yes, indeed. Before that,
okay.
GM.
Now, the question is are you showing this to me, the GM, or did you stop at your guild hall and attempt to pick up
the victory,
like a portable projector? Unfortunately not. Sure, it's true. You have a better speech for the Queen.
Well, no, there's no way I had time to do that. But beside that, I have to present it to you, GM, because I think I have a better speech for the Queen. But
can we?
All right. So
can we wait a minute here and maybe zoom in a little?
Remain the same.
Oh, and
some
the
turn
quotation,
to darkness while others
whom it
rise
is
as beacons
attributed
of hope.
to,
Ignore the tiny text,
which is kinda, and when you think about it,
unknown.
Okay, sure.
Kinda, and when
it's kind of sad when you think about it. Did he not rise as a beacon of hope? Did he become the darkness? Maybe that's why he's unknown.
Sure.
All right. Well, listen, if you're not satisfied with that answer, then let's go to the next slide. So, this is our agenda for this session. Why is it important? This is an introduction to the reasoning, the deep reasoning and development of thought process.
Being present is very important.
Not vampire. Weighing the pros and cons of vampires versus humans.
Sure.
Oh, no, I would love to. No, can we go back, please? I would like to have a discussion of the genres that fall under the categories of prose and poetry. You will be deducted points if we do not discuss that by the end of this learning objective.
A discussion.
We can discuss.
prose and poetry.
Oh, okay, we can discuss.
I hope you go into each individually.
So, the why. And when we first entered the game, we had no hope, idea, or answer, but now we have hope, idea, and an answer. Love. What brought us here, right? It would be love. Quite literally, we would not be here if not for the love potion I got from Lust. You know, those demons that we killed for you. Or for the Queen,
that's not. You can get that back on.
And then teleport. We got here literally by teleporting. Very expensive spell slot. It would be a waste if things went poorly.
Yes, what brought us here. I do like that. You did give me 3 points.
We also used the world tree.
Go back?
Like literally, these are the ways we got here.
No, go back. One more. See, you said now we have a hope idea and an answer. I really hope we circle back to that and you tell me what the hope idea and
No, I'm working on this.
And also, don't forget the prose and poetry.
No, okay. Oh, this could be really.
Don't forget the prose and poetry.
All right, vampire versus not vampire. All right, I literally have thoughts and processes here. Vampire's the peak of physical perfection and power, all potential unleashed, and under the control of the sire, your whims for them to obey if you so command.
Very powerful.
And on the other side, it's like, well, not vampire, it's the monkey. And that's literally, when I looked up monkey, or when I looked up human, it just showed me a picture of the monkey, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
But literally, these are my thought processes. We won't go too in detail here. Take a moment. All right, now think of yourself when we have to reflect on ourselves to understand who we are. When was the last time you looked at yourself in a mirror? And when was the last time Queen Rimidolf looked at herself in a mirror?
There's blood dripping down off of it?
Oh, that's really awkward because I see what she is. A queen? Well, listen.
Okay, I thought it was...
No, it's paint on the mirror because I didn't have time to let it dry.
It's because she's a vampire. It's culturally insensitive. Man, it's for her.
Yeah. Oh, that's really awkward. So what is it that we gain? A way out. And greater proof of Camille's manipulations, what she's actually doing. World domination or, the way out.
Okay.
So really the answer to all this is the hope is that we get the way out. The idea is that we use Roland against Camille.
I will be giving you an answer.
All right, we steal her power and thunder.
That's true.
And then the answer?
Yeah, I would like to know a little bit more about prose and poetry, if you could.
And so now the discussion about prose and poetry.
Sure.
Well, you see, prose is the standard
That's very
language.
poetic description
It is
of
not
what poetry
necessarily
is.
flowery.
Thank
It's
you.
just
I appreciate
prose
that.
on a page. But poetry.
If you're
is the
interested,
air we breathe.
Emily will be posting this entire PowerPoint presentation on our Patreon. So this is part of the bonus notes, GM session notes, player notes as well, maps, and early access to episodes that you would get by subscribing to our Patreon. So if you want to see this beautifully made PowerPoint,
I'm sorry. I'm really proud of the mirror because I was gonna. If I did do this for the queen, I was like, I can't logic it. But if I did, I would be like,
very well
look
done.
in the mirror. What do you see?
Very well
Nothing.
done.
Correct,
You
because
had-
it's not a real mirror. I had plans. Anyway, that's it for me on that
That's
end.
nice. That's nice. I do like that.
So GM, I answered all. I love the
for
mirror. It's a mirror.
The
That's actually a
amount
mirror.
of effort you put in, also
look
with
at
my
that beauty.
foreknowledge of how busy you were today and how I know you wanted to dedicate more time to this, but your flexibility and improvisation during presentation. I'll give you a +4 on your diplomacy check. Thank you for putting that together for us. Now you unfortunately did say that PowerPoint presentation was solely talking to me, which means you still have to present your argument to the queen.
Huzzah.
Yeah, that'd be great. But hopefully that was enjoyable for all who attended. And like I said, PowerPoint
Yes,
presentations,
don't
you did
worry,
not
I
see it
can do
because
that.
We are an audio-based
yeah,
drama. You
let
can
me
find
just-
that on our Patreon if you would like to flip through along with us.
Well, the first thing she did when she ran
hasn't
was
announced to you yet
and then
that she's a game
she kind of
moderator.
steps
She's
back,
still playing.
realizing that's not the right decorum. Because after all, we have to play the game. I know. Well, she's also told me in order to win the game, I have to play the game. So, it's time to play the game by the power of ChatGPT and my notes. She bows, realizing her own error of running in and just dropping all decorum. She corrects herself, brushes down her clothes. Your Majesty, you asked me to work on a few things for you, especially addressing the issue of people crossing into and out of your lands without permission. I believe we may have found a resolution of sorts to this issue.
She kind of just
among others,
methodically waves her hand and
she's like
gesturing
visibly
for
trying
you
to
to go
contain her
on.
own excitement as well. Like there's a big smile on her face, but she's like pushing it down. To continue. Well, Your Majesty, I believe I have someone that would be of great value to you. You see, in this land of Araveldum, the one that we get to through by passing through your tree, we have perchance come across a great military leader there. Someone who could control the masses, protect the tree, limiting those who proceed through on either side. However, as you said, Your Majesty, once upon a time, we have to play a game in order to win. So, beyond this small tribute that I offer you, I must ask that you understand there is a darkness that looms over us, threatening not only our freedom here in your nation, but of the very existence of all within and without. I've come across some information from a very reputable source. Within 6 months' time, there may be an event so cataclysmic that it will wipe out entirities of nations
Tell me
and others.
then,
Like
what is
myself,
this
Your Majesty,
cataclysmic event?
a source of nutrients for your kind. That's very specific. Let us say that the information is unspecified in its naming of the event.
And she lets out a long,
Beyond the fact that the
exasperated
information
sigh,
was
bringing
obtained from
her
one
hand up to
Stefan
her
von
temple and
Linden.
tilting her head slightly as if in deep contemplation.
So, I suppose you have come here with a proposal.
course. I believe that there is a major solution to the situation by addressing one thorn that keeps pricking at Your Majesty's power, toying with you in a way, insulting your power, Your Majesty. There is someone in this nation of Erveldum
the individual you speak
has
of,
traversed your land, as we have discussed, without paying you respect or regard. Is that not unacceptable?
Be an ongoing problem. Why should I put more strife, more responsibility on myself for the sake of a petty squabble with this person?
Perhaps the attempted murder of one of your duchesses would offer you recourse for her actions.
Can you show me?
It is more than a petty squabble, Your Majesty. This is a threat against your nation.
To stay
all of us.
Very contained to our own realms.
This cannot exist, quite simply.
She crosses into your realm.
If what you say is true,
a second world tree.
This would be problematic. Do you know where the
and
world
yet,
tree accesses
it does.
this plane? We can fortify the defenses and continue to regulate traffic.
I do not know where on this plane, but, Your Majesty, how would she have gotten here, if not through this other world tree? For the fact is, you know of the comings and goings of anyone who passes the tree, and she has not passed through there. Has there been any suspicious activity in your nation, such as the disappearance of people? For I can tell you the tree that she has built, or cheated her way into, exists in an underwater terrain accessing another floor, floor 20, but in a domain that should not exist.
The actual populace of this
a dark
realm
and
has been
twisted
dwindling,
location.
most notably with the disappearance of the entire town of Yanamot. Other such populations have since vanished, with absolutely nothing to do with me or my nation. Thankfully, due to the requisition of the town of Lunka and its inhabitants, our food supply has not been greatly impacted, but you would be unable to find almost any existing city except for my stronghold. This once great nation has turned into a wild land where individuals roam freely, but also vanish in the night.
Lunka is coastal. Roll.
There's a body of water near Lunka, right?
Or knowledge local if you wanted.
Not Lunka, but I know it's near the water. I mean Yenamut. There's a lake that we were warned not to go near.
I believe, all the way back in season 2, maybe even. Trawling through all of your memories, you do recall not only that you and a number of your guild members have visited a nearby river that runs directly adjacent and through the town of Yanamut, but you also recall the individual named Marnie. She was an assistant at the bakery, and you actually helped her one night as she was petrified of said river. But this was a quest line that was tangential. It was an entire side quest, and you guys kind of opted out of it.
Okay. Can Your Majesty fortify against entire oceans and waterways? Ways that she can access? She controls a population of creatures. And she kind of goes off topic and just goes, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers over here. Sea creatures that steal people.
And what would you have me do?
At least that's the legends up on floor 15. Qualupaluk, as they're called. And we encountered them. It's not of them, but of who controls them. Your Majesty, if in 6 months' time, all that you know ceases to be, then sitting here doing nothing is foolishness, especially when you have the ability to do something. And that is why I bring you Camille's general. A gift. He is in charge of the Abjurers, her military police. I say turn him into one of your vampires, a thrall. Make him yours and deal a mighty blow to Camille. Damage her pride and her power, all in one blow. Show her you are not to be trifled with. And, in doing so, we gather information on what Camille is doing. We must secure your borders, Your Majesty. We must take that which is hers. You must become the one that she envies, and not the other way around, Your Majesty.
But it sounds
Listen, I'm doing my best here. This is what I got.
You question my authority. There is none which I envy. Of the potential threat to the nation, I heed your warning, but I will need to consider your proposition, as if this individual is as problematic as you say, would not taking someone she greatly cares about invite unwelcome attention and strife? We have been secluded to our refuge here at the Rimadolf Castle. Our estate, a bastion of defense. None can climb the sheer cliffs, especially not any sea creatures. As you point out, us vampires are beings of physical perfection, especially after being able to remove our weaknesses. So, I find no immediate threat to us. Why would I invite an immediate threat on me and my people?
She just kind of interrupts her and she goes, Iravanak, I can only play this game for so long. You know what needs to be done. You cannot sit here in your castle
me do?
hiding.
Enthrall this general?
You are
have
needed.
Him march against his own people, only to then be slain, and only then have recourse brought against me and my own. To what end?
If you do nothing, it ends. My guild cannot do this on their own. There are very few who are able to stand up to what she is doing. I can't even imagine trying to convince other players to join our plight when we're the only ones who have found out what's going on. And you know better than anyone. And she's just looking her dead straight in the eyes at this point.
In a game of
I consider you to be a great friend and ally.
Aggravates the
I
opponent.
beg you to not betray that.
Them a killing blow. You would be foolish to overextend your pieces for the sake of a single soul. If I am to aid you, which I am not opposed to, I need actionable terms. I need a killing blow. The when, the where, they must be weighed and they must be measured.
But if you take her general, someone
I
who
can enthrall
commands
your general,
many
as you
within the city,
see it to be such
that gives you
an
more
integral
power.
Piece.
She's
But
killing
if
players.
he fails in his potency of performance, which you so greatly decree he will perform at, I will be forced to backtrack if there is an adequate amount of retaliation. In such an instance, I would need you to provide a subsequent maneuver so that we could act against Camille I need you to put into place the pieces. I must remain here. I cannot leave my station. I'm confined to this realm. I may move my pawns, but I may not leave the board. We are playing 5D chess.
I really suck at chess, I gotta say, but I understand. We have a potential allyship with the nature spirits on the next floor, who have agreed to attack the city if we provide them the proof, which we have obtained.
And
it's just up to my party to get to them.
Provide a battle strategy, you will naturally accrue more. What you need to do is find the killing blow.
I don't know where they, and she's indicating like the data centers and her like when that's what she's referring to in her mind is they. I don't know where they are. I would if I could. At the very least, a distraction
to infiltrate her domain,
so that we can maybe go after certain locations within her domain.
If you entered with such a small force, you better make
2 to
sure
3,
that it is
according
elite
to Stefan.
You will face
and hopefully we hear back from him soon, since he's exploring it right now.
I could supply you with soldiers for any upcoming struggle, but you need to make sure that they are adequate for the task at hand. When fighting an opponent larger than yourself, you need to attack from multiple fronts. I think your general will prove, at the very least, to be a distraction, an irritation, a thorn in her side. Hopefully he is more useful than that, and this temporary distraction will enable you to do what needs to be done. And she kind of just, waves you off, as she now has way too much on her plate.
Thank you.
To way too much. You come into my house.
Too much on her plate. Listen, I'm the one who had the date. There was a lot more on my plate here. A cast greater teleport. She stops for a second. Turns. By the way, this is the last thing, Your Majesty. I don't know. I think I took it out of him. But if his head explodes, let me know and I'll be back with a regenerate spell. She puts things in their heads to control them, and I don't know if I got it out or not. I think I did. I had a spinal thing, but
Your request will take time. We will reconvene.
No, I'm not leaving him here with
on the
you.
Morrow. It is late and I have
get
much to
changed.
contemplate. And you make your way upstairs, as you are very familiar with the establishment.
Very well.
And
she
you
bows
effectively
as she
have run of the mill
backs out of
the majority
room.
of the castle. You make your way to what has historically been your room. And you see Dorian and General Roland as Dorian is kind of helping him get dressed, and Roland is now in a 3-piece suit.
Ah, my love. What I've been
Okay, she
unable
covers her face and starts turning to go the other way for
I will say,
very nice. She turns back, brushing her hand, playing it cool. Oh, it's a very nice suit that you have. Yes.
I do have work.
Roland, my dear.
No,
it would be a very, very long drive back.
We wouldn't be arriving.
We can leave tomorrow. I will get you back promptly. I promise. For me.
If you think that he would be able to. reach the destination, that would be wonderful. I'll have something written and sent to you.
I'll have my courier do it.
And with that,
wonderful.
Retire.
Absolutely. I can have him deliver that immediately. I will just send that to the group and hope that they can send it by pigeon.
And generally restful slumber. You feel a familiar sensation, one which you are akin to, as numerous entities have attempted to communicate to you through dreams before. But this one is slightly different. It almost feels as if your body is floating, rising off the bed.
Yeah.
And then you begin phasing almost through the ceiling and soaring through the atmosphere itself. Pausing for but a moment, you see the radiant light of the sun conflicting with the gentle glow of the moon. And as you are amongst the universe itself, you feel caught in between the two, as if they are pulling back and forth in opposing directions, until, quite gently, a third force seems to pluck you out from in between. And you begin ascending past both of them, further into the stars, until coming to a gentle halt. And it feels as if you are lying down on a cool surface that seems to almost conform to your body. As you stand, your feet are firmly planted on a strange mirror-like surface that is definitely solid, but ripples as you move. And this clear rippling surface seems to reflect the endless celestial space of the sky above. Endless stars dotting the black sea of the galaxy. Yeah. You can move and walk around. Oh, you kind of stood up.
Do I have control of my body now, or am I just kind of okay? Am I laying down? You said. Or?
You attempt to speak. You open your mouth, but it seems as if you are almost genuinely in the vacuum of space.
Was it the burrito I ate?
And nothing can be said. There's nothing but silence. And as you think, it appears as almost visions.
I think these
dreams
things
manifesting
while I'm in my head.
Into reality. You see burritos. If that's what you're thinking about, that's what you see.
There are burritos manifesting in
almost a display of dancing lights.
She imagines
waves into the form of bread everywhere. And you begin frolicking.
Oh, this is the best. This is the greatest dream I've ever had. She begins to frolic through the dream of bread.
It almost feels as if you are being watched. Almost like prey running from a predator. It feels as if you are being hunted. It feels as if it's lurking behind you.
From every direction or specific direction? She stops and immediately just like, it's a stop and quick turn to look.
I'm very sorry.
I think
around you begins rising tall and sturdy pine trees. The air feels crisp and cool. The vision of the ground is but far beneath you, and you seem to be quickly maneuvering your ways through. But as you are soaring at incredible speeds, there still seem to be projectiles whoosh, 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 whizzing past you from all directions. Until the vision fades, and you snap back. And you are awake in your bed at Rimidov Castle. Roll either a knowledge planes, knowledge nature, or knowledge geography.
Is there a way that I could try and interpret what I just dreamed?
You have had numerous interactions with larger
I'm going to go with
life
planes.
figures of monumental.
That is going to be a 30
You make
total.
deals with them on the regular, selling your soul for epic amounts of power.
Lots of gods.
And then, like, the numerous other times that it has occurred. So you are very familiar with these forces.
Hey, listen. It was just the billboard the one time.
And you feel, as you analyze the situation and the feeling and sensation, it feels akin to when you had the telepathic communication with Acela. It feels as if she was trying to communicate something to you. And with that, we're going to cut back over to Zana and Tama. It's morning, and you are in headquarters, waking up. You roll. How early would you guys be waking up? Out of curiosity. 7. Cool. Tama, what about you?
7 would be normal for him.
7 would be normal. Okay. Both of you roll a perception check for me.
7. I need to get an early start of my day.
Both of you find that your sleep was disturbed earlier than initially intended, right at the crack of dawn,
28.
right as the sun was cresting. You normally have no trouble sleeping through. There are blinds in this establishment to block out the sun so that you can have a hearty night's sleep and not be afflicted terribly with the light and your slamming hangover, having a very bad mixture. But it is not the light nor any of the general surroundings which bothers you, but it is rather the commotion, the clattering and banging of equipment, only but a few doors over, as it seems a number of individuals are mobilizing and heading out for the day.
Oh, I guess they might be going on that hunt.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Zana is awoken and is...
So when I get the disturbance, I look over and see if Draken actually woke up as well.
Oh, not in the slightest.
No, it's too soon.
Man
Nobody
is
would
like
take me seriously.
cocooned, and he
They
has
don't know if they're real
noise-canceling
threat.
headphones on. Tama bangs, too.
No.
Zana bangs.
Moving really quick, being aroused so early in the morning.
Now it's Zana bangs.
Bangs on your door.
As you exited your room, you did notice that a number of these invaders are actually making their way down the stairs. They are fully geared up. They've already donned all of their armor and accoutrements, and they are fully armed with their weapons.
We never asked what hunt they were going on.
It's a big hunt. It's a very important hunt.
Big hunt.
Very big, important hunt that they're going on today.
Yeah.
You're constantly just pounding on his door.
I open the door.
Well, do you answer your door?
I think they're going to do that hunt they talked about last night, which
do you think they're mobilizing the troops already? Has the battle already started?
Spirits. They did say it was a big hunt.
Hunt?
Shouldn't we grab Draken first?
Well, she grabs your arm and pulls you downstairs with her phone. We gotta go stop them.
We don't know what they're doing.
Fine, you grab Draken. I'm gonna go downstairs and try and stop them.
Ask and see what hunt they're going on.
Obviously, I was going to ask them first.
You see through the glass windows of headquarters that all of the Eastland Raiders are currently encircled outside of the establishment, standing in the freshly laden snow. And as you begin making your way down the stairs, exiting the establishment in an attempt to communicate with Aquila and ask him what his intentions for the day are, before you get halfway through, you notice as all of them teleport.
I was still gonna have to be waiting.
I rolled a percentile die to see if they would have teleported during your conversation. And it rolled really high.
Tama doesn't know that they teleport, so he's still gonna
So what do you do to awake Draken?
Well, first he just tries to talk loudly to see if Draken can wake up. He's like, okay, fine. And then makes his hand cold and just touches his neck.
Snowball, stop it.
He makes his hand hot and then touches the back of his neck.
Eventually, after messing with him for a long
That's
period
really
of time, and Zana storming up the stairs, Draken does. It's like way too early for any of this. What do you want? That's good. That's good. Thank you.
What about the What about the Eastern Raiders?
Nothing. We want you to go back to sleep. Leaving in 2 hours. They're gone.
I think they live.
They're gone.
Just fine.
They're teleported. I don't know where. I tried to warn them.
With being able
the
to.
nature spirits are very tough. And if they die, it's their own dumb fault for not listening.
I came to the realization that we didn't ask them what hunt they were going on this morning.
Oh, and they said a big and important one.
Yeah.
I mean, we theoretically have an advantage over them by the fact that we
are
friends with the nature spirits and can teleport to one of them.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Maybe.
No, I don't want to do it right now, but do you want one of the nature spirits to be dead after I get my next 4 hours of beauty sleep and 5 cappuccinos?
And like...
No, I don't.
Did you not?
You know what?
Hear
I
he said?
am perfectly.
Well, get your
literally
beauty
just said
sleep
that
and
we should
cappuccinos. Me and Tanya can go.
Why is my moral compass active so early in the morning? No, we are. That's not my moral compass. What am I talking about? It's my compass of self-preservation. If these things die, we're less powerful, and then we might die because we can't beat Camille. No, that's his moral compass, and he ignores that actively.
Wait, is his his self-preservation compass?
Yeah. You're not there, so he's really
nagging him in the back
easy
of
to
his
ignore
mind
right now.
constantly.
Okay, fine.
Dang it!
Where are we?
You're right. I'm not there.
One teleport we know where, Den always said we can find him.
Yeah.
And he probably has the best chance of making it to the other nature spirits to warn them.
The quickest, right? And then, let's just do that. Like, what else would make more sense?
Yeah.
And Draken just teleports to the mountain. It's still, by the way, cocooned in blankets.
I teleport as well.
Tama does as well.
And it's by the time you get there, he's still cocooned. It's just he's pouring himself a cappuccino. And it's just like barely his hands are sticking out from the blankets.
I teleport
and he's just
as well.
sipping on it.
I don't remember how to call Den. I think he said something like caw-caw, caw-caw.
Roll handle animal.
You're not the GM.
Really well.
Yeah, it's fine. You can roll
I
handle
don't know if
animal.
we're. I was. Am I rolling handle animal? I'm sorry.
There
I
is
did
a
that without
moment.
thinking. You're not. Don't tell me what.
Silence
Don't confuse
as
me like this.
Nothing fills your ears
24
except
for my
the sound of the
caw-caws.
bustling wind as it whisks by you. Your skin prickles, frigid in this atmosphere, until it seems not as boisterous. When Den has always flown by, it has been like claps of thunder, powerful. This seems minuscule in comparison, dainty, but nevertheless, eventually an eagle of substantial size, like this is a regular-sized eagle still, a big bird, but nothing compared to the towering entity that you have befriended. A regular-sized eagle seems to perch itself on a rock right in front of you. And it kind of just like coughs and like haunches its feathers up
Where's
until
Den?
eventually its beak spreads wide and almost unnaturally, where this bird's vocal cords are straining and it does not want to make these sounds, you hear Den's voice. But Zana, I need you for me to let me know something. You technically could make a will save.
You are locking eyes with this creature, and you feel something is trying to make a connection with you. You could choose to resist it or allow it to go through. Okay. Zana, you see soaring through vast expanse of trees, moving at lightning-quick speeds. In fact, there are even storm clouds swirling about and cracks of lightning and thunder, which you know is very common for Den when he is trying to be undetected. But almost as if seeing through his eyes, you see black projectiles darting through the clouds of storm. And you hear and you can feel a connection to Den.
Zana, what is it? Now's not really a great time. Oh, really? Yes, I did kind of figure that out. In the middle of the wilderness, I'm flying. I was trying to make my way to anyone else. Ferriman's useless. He always sleeps. I mean, let's be honest, Melville's never useful. Long story, not now. I was trying to find Siren. Anyone, maybe a cellar. Siren's all the way by her tree, all the way in the far east. Cellar's probably by her shrine, but that's all the way in the north. I'm currently out in the middle of like 400 miles of open forest.
And as he's speaking and you are seeing through his eyes, you see more of these absolutely massive, like ballista-like spear projectiles being shot.
If I did that, they would also have access to the same temporal rift that I make. It could potentially lead all of them to us.
Change back into a smaller...
They could lay an ambush for next time anyone attempts to enter. Oh, the birds screaming at me.
I don't know how they would do that. That's crazy.
Okay.
As to... Are you
all I hear is a very panicked voice and a very raspy one, too.
He's under attack right now. I can see through his eyes.
I mean, we can't get to him, can we?
I don't know what to do.
It feels like it's kind of too late.
I mean, did he say where he is? Because it didn't seem like he... Can you see where he is?
Do any of us have access to any teleport spells that can go long distance? Even if you could only mentally picture the location, we could teleport there if we had access to that magic.
I can only teleport short distances, relatively short.
I mean, we could attempt to find one of the other nature spirits and see if they could join us with him. Well, it feels like we somehow overslept, though it is 5:37 in the morning.
They're not already under attack as well.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either. Nothing normally happens before the crack of noon 30. How could they know a gamer's one weakness? Early mornings!
Well, I mean... Well, they're also gamers. At least, probably.
Maybe because they have access to all of our brains.
The only other place we could potentially find one of the nature spirits is by teleporting
what do we need to
the portal,
do right now?
But that's the only other place that we know would be relatively close to one of the nature spirits. But even then, I don't know how we would call him.
What nature spirit are you trying to call?
The Galamkete.
Oh, you're talking about the underwater portal.
Yeah.
I mean, Tama, isn't the Galamkete kind of like your patron?
Yes, but he didn't really... Well,
have you tried to... do you speak whale now?
I don't know. He did not let me know on that information. He just said I'm his champion now, and together we'd clear the...
So, mild problem, being shot at with giant spears?
I guess, wait, could Tama try and just, like, throw, like, I don't know, like a will to see if he could communicate with the Galamkete or something?
You could attempt to roll a will to access that connection.
Cool.
That's very similar to actually what's going on here currently with Zana, as she was able to kind of like have a will link to that connection.
26.
That is really good. So what I'm going to tell you is this connection actually feels as if, for Zana, this connection came incredibly easily. It was fluid. For Tama, it feels like you're actually having to break through layers of mental barriers, as if something is actively inhibiting you from contacting this creature. It feels like almost itself is resisting you contacting it. But then once the connection is established, it feels very free-flowing and like smooth, almost like it should.
What are you doing over there, ye landlubber? You're nowhere near me.
Well, I didn't know where to find you, and we had a suspicion that there might be people coming to attack at least one of the nature spirits. So the only place we knew where we could find one of them is Den's mountain. Turns out he's under attack.
Oh, well, that is severe indeed. Very, very strangely, I am currently by the frozen wharf.
Well, and so we were trying to figure out if there was anybody else we could contact. Well, one of the nature spirits. And Draken suggested that maybe I had connection, so I tried it, and apparently it worked. I didn't know that there would be a mental thing to this.
Oh, well, no, absolutely. This is very, basic, rudimentary functionality of things. Everyone should be able to communicate with the spirit that they're associated with at this point. We have almost like a spiritual tie to the individuals. In fact, if anything were to happen to us, you would, in efficacy, be our successors.
Oh, I hope nothing happens to you.
Oh, neither do I. That would probably be terribly painful. I'm sure that I would probably be gutted and blubbered.
So, yes, all we know is that Den is being attacked, and, he said he's 400 miles in the middle of nowhere, and not very helpful on location.
No, that isn't very helpful on location, lad. Also, I don't know, how useful a literal fish out of water is going to be. I could, theoretically, if you could make it to me, I could take you to our liminal subspace, and then I could spit you out. And wherever he is.
That might work. Yeah, I didn't know. It was either, see if you had something like that, or if you knew how we could find one of the nature spirits that could get to him.
Well, I mean, Siren's probably by her nest, per usual. She's normally sleeping at this hour, though.
All right, then maybe we can just...
Sella's, she's the hardest. She doesn't communicate in very plain language. She tries. She really does. But she's very, very difficult woman to get in contact with. If you can meet me here at the Frozen Wharf, I can get you to where you need to be. And hopefully you can intervene.
That's probably our best option. I will inform my party members, and we will be there as quickly as possible.
Through your mental and emotional link that you currently have with Den, you actually feel sharp pain, almost as if something pierces right in your bicep, almost like severing tendons. And your vision begins to spiral, almost in a nauseating degree.
Yeah!
Oh, no, that's not good!
Guys, I may have found a way we can get to him. So you know how you mentioned the whale communication thing? It worked.
All I got was cooing. I think she's asleep.
Okay, well, so he's the frozen warp. He can bloop us out where Den is.
That's probably our best bet.
All right, let's go.
Frozen wharf. Do you want to save Den? Oh, what? Do you have a better idea? Okay then.
As they're all teleporting and everyone else has left, the bird still is linked with you, as you were a little bit slower on the uptake.
So
coming, Den.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to make it. If I don't, I wanted to let you know that the moments we had together were truly magical. And no, we could not.
You better make it.
It was brief. It was the highlight of my existence. There is no one I am more proud to have been acquainted with. And then you teleport. You all make it to the Frozen Wharf. Roll a perception check. Poor lad, on his deathbed, got friend-zoned.
31.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. 32.
He's officially
perception.
been friend zoned.
Cool. Zana, would you like to roll a perception?
No.
Really hard to miss
We're
the
no longer
giant ice
acquaintances.
whale
We're friends
that is
now.
actually like
It's a
right
step
up by the docks. Zana, you're very distracted and a little bit emotional at the
26.
current set of circumstances. But Tama, you realize that where there were like ships, or primarily one ship known to you that generally docks at this wharf, it's completely destroyed. It looks like it got cleaved in half. But there, in its stead, is a giant ice whale, which you know to be the Galmkete. Cool. Yeah, clearly it's because it's cold.
Zana.
A man on his deathbed.
While she was running. Maybe it's just because it's cold or something.
And she just friend zoned,
This giant
She
ice
was
whale
trying to
just
tell him.
begins to open its mouth.
She was trying to tell him
Quick,
she
let's
considered
go.
him a friend, not an acquaintance. But
Yeah, I came across. Poor guy.
Oh, we run into the mouth.
Cool. You run straight into the belly of the beast. And as you do,
I've done weirder things.
almost instantaneously, you feel as you are swallowed. And the pressure in this area seems to increase, almost to the point where you have a pain-splitting headache, as almost instantaneously after being swallowed, you feel jettisoned downward as if this mighty creature is diving at a very steep angle. But then all of a sudden, it lifts. And you now feel yourselves actually free-falling through the air. And you are no longer in the mouth of a whale, nor are you underwater, but you see as you are currently plummeting over a forest. There's nothing but trees for as far as the eye can see, but you do see storm clouds, and you hear the rumbling of machines and the vicious battle cries of individuals. And I think that's where we're going to end for this week's episode of the Odd Campaign, Cliffhanger into Combat.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Sword Art Online Odd. We're so glad that you joined us, and we hope you'll stick around for next week's episode, which is going to be clearly, probably, some sort of battle. So it should be fun. As always, we want to give a big thank you and shout out to Michael Gelfi of Michael Gelfi Studios, Monument Studios, and a lot of artists from Epidemic Sounds for allowing us to use their music and ambiance in today's episode. Please go ahead and check them out. Their links are in the description below. And if you want to continue with getting news from our podcast, make sure you're following us on our X account at RollFound.
Bye,
Or join us
guys!
in our Discord. All those links are in the description below. All right, I guess we'll see you next week on another episode of Sword Art Online Odd. Bye-bye!
Bye.